everyone. Tammy Russell, your Outer Banks Realtor here. And something that I wanted to talk to you guys about today are property management companies. And if you own a vacation property and it's in a short-term rental program, this is for you. You need to be paying attention to this. So there's a couple of things that have been happening recently. One of the things that I want you to do is look up your property management agreement and look and see if there's an auto renew date. One of the things that we're seeing is these companies are putting auto renewals in that sometimes are starting in as early as July. So you're going along and you're in your rental season and everything's good and you're not really thinking about next year. And before you know it, you've been auto renewed and you're locked into that company for another year. And that's not always what you want to do. I mean, sometimes you might want to renegotiate. Sometimes you might decide that you want to use that home as a second home and not as an investment property. Maybe you want to change your rental rates. There's a lot of reasons why you may not want to auto renew that early. So look up your property management agreement, look at that date, put it in your phone, maybe a week in advance to set you up a reminder. That way you're never surprised. Other thing that we're seeing and what's really troubling is a lot of companies have started going to these huge cancellation fees. And here's a scenario. You decide that you want to sell your vacation home. We put it up for sale. As your agent, these companies do not disclose the details of your property management agreement with me. That's an agreement between you and them. So my hands are tied. I can't protect you, but so much. You actually have to look up your property management agreement and you have to call them and check and see what their cancellation fees are. But to give you something that happened recently to a coworker of mine, their client listed their house for sale. When it went time to close, the property management company was charging them, number one, a cancellation fee that was pretty hefty. They were also charging them for commissions for future rents for weeks that had not even been booked. But because the house was selling, they were missing the opportunity to make that commission. So they were charging them commissions. They were also charging cleaning fees, and they were even charging credit card processing fees for weeks that had not been booked. So when everything was said and done, that seller was looking at about $40,000 in cancellation and commissions due. And that's a huge number. So you definitely want to look and see what your cancellation fees are if you decide to sell that property or if you decide that you want to go with a different company. On the flip side, if you're a buyer and you're making an offer on a property, and let's say it's in a rental program and you want to use it as a second home, you no longer want to put it in that rental program once you've honored the 180 days, which is mandatory that you have to honor those rents that are booked. What can happen is it can really put you at a disadvantage if that seller knows that they're going to have to pay a huge cancellation fee, and maybe you're going up against another buyer making an offer that plans on keeping it with that company. Even though your offer may be for more money on a purchase price, the net may be less to that seller. So that's something to think about as a buyer, to maybe ask your agent to check with a listing agent and see if they're aware of any type of cancellation fees that would put you at a disadvantage. So these are just a few things that I wanted you to think about. Definitely always read your contracts before you sign up with a property management company. There's a lot of great ones out here doing wonderful jobs for our clients, but there are some that are just doing some practices that I don't necessarily agree with and just wanted to educate everyone on. So have a great day.